Okay. Hello, everybody. Assalamualaikum and a very good morning. And welcome again back to the 24th Medical and Health Research Week. So in continuation, this is a module for Statistics in Research 2 with our esteemed guest for today is Associate Professor Dr. Azmi Mohd. So as we can know that partial of you are still doing analysis for getting the project corrected and done. So this will be a value added course that you can undergo for today. So without further ado, I will invite Associate Professor Dr. Azmi Mohd for his first talk for today.
Thank you very much, Madam Chairperson. I'm sharing screen right now. The screen that I'm sharing, it looks exactly the same, but it will help in the clarity of the view. Okay. Okay. Today we're going to cover another one of the statistical tests. So the test that we're going to cover is t-test and ANOVA. Today there'll be a slight difference. I will try to demonstrate the analysis using SPSS software every time we come to the respective topic, just to highlight the fact that it is easier for you all to do the analysis using a computer software rather than doing it manually. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to jump the screen now. Okay. Okay. So my apologies for the two views of the camera. I just realized my Insta360 sometimes works, sometimes it doesn't. So that's why I'm having views from both cameras. So please don't be distracted by the extra hit there on the video. The one from the Insta360 is much better because the color is much better. The one from the webcam on the notebook is slightly more horrible compared to the other one. Okay. Okay. So the first thing we're going to talk about today is about t-test. It's about t-test. It's not an easy topic to cover on this day, bright early morning, Monday morning after the long weekend, but we have to cover this. So we already mentioned last Friday that the statistical test that you tend to use is chi-square. So this is the other test that you tend to use a lot, which is student's t-test. Student t-test is also known as two-sample t-test, independent t-test. Basically, you're comparing two groups. Okay. I'm also going to cover paired t-test and ANOVA. So student's t-test is also known as, not really known as. Okay, let's talk a bit about why it is called student's t-test. The person who came up with this idea of doing a student's t-test is William Sealy-Gosset. Okay, S-E-A-L-Y, Sealy, not S-I-L-L-Y. William Sealy-Gosset used to work for Guinness Breweries. So for Guinness Breweries, they have a policy not allowing their staff to publish anything because they want to protect their trade secret. So the staff are not allowed to publish anything. So for William Sealy-Gosset, he is interested in statistics. Therefore, this limitation is a bit tough for him. So when he was publishing papers, he had to use a pseudonym. The pseudonym that he chose for himself was student. So that's why when the test became popular, the test is known as a student's t-test. Okay. So that is the story of the name student's t-test. So what do we use the student's t-test for? Basically, whenever you have two groups and you have this mean to compare, okay, then you use a student's t-test. For example, you have two groups of patients. One group of patients were given hematinics. The other group were not given hematinics. So we got two groups. And you want to compare the HB level of those on hematinics and those without hematinics. Then you are going to use a student's t-test. Okay, so you're comparing the mean of hemoglobin level between the two groups. Okay, and between the treatment group and the control group. So what is the variable being compared? Hemoglobin level. What is the factor of interest? Here, the group that is given treatment and the group that is control. Therefore, it is done by using student's t-test. Down there at the bottom there, you can see the formula. Okay, you can see the formula. Okay, which is very simple. Basically, you're just comparing the mean of one group against the mean of the other, divided by the standard error of mean of the overall group. Other examples that we tend to do in medical studies, for example, comparing the level of blood cholesterol level between hypertensive and non-hypertensive patient, or comparing the Hamdi score of two groups of psychiatric patients treated with two different drugs. Okay, for example, fluoxetine and sertraline. Okay, these are just examples. The copyright of the name belongs to the respective company. Okay, here is an example of a t-test done between two groups after 6 weeks treatment with fluoxetine and sertraline. Okay, so you can see the anxiety level for the group fluoxetine and the mean anxiety score for sertraline is 4.25 and 3.8, and you can see that the difference is not that much. So you can see after 6 weeks of treatment, the group improves drastically from a score of 14 to become 4 and 3.8. And you can see that the score, the difference is not statistically significant. Why? 4.2 and 3.8 is quite small. So you can see that if 4.2 minus 3.8, the difference is 0.4. If the difference is 0.4 and it is smaller than the standard deviation, chances are it will not be significant. Chances are it will not be significant. So you can see here the standard deviation is 3.1 and 4.3. So therefore 0.4 is very, very small. So therefore it is not surprising that the p-value is not statistically significant. So you can see here the p-value is larger than 0.05. Okay, and that is the use of such tests, trying to compare groups, trying to compare the mean between two groups. Okay, there are some assumptions that you have to fulfill for doing a t-test. For example, the data must be normally distributed. Okay, we already covered that earlier. Okay, we covered that last Friday, so just take note of that. Okay, so you have to, that's why we covered the topic, to ensure that your data is normally distributed. Okay. The other thing is the two groups must be, the population variances are equal. This one we're going to show you how we check for that under Lever's test. And the two groups are independent of each other. So those who belong to one group cannot belong to the other group. So they can only belong to one group only. Okay. Apologies, I just messed up my camera. So what happened when I messed up my camera? Now I see why the battery was not plugged in. Probably. My apologies. Okay, listen to me. Don't touch the wires next time. Okay, what's happening? Okay, now it's going back to normal places. My apologies about that. Why that thing happened just now? I have 3 monitors right now. 2 of them are, one is for sharing the screen, the other one is for the PowerPoint. So I saw the wires not working properly, so I tried to plug it in. I end up disconnecting. Okay, so for the software, for the t-test, there are 2 major formula. One is when the variances are equal, and the other one is when the variances are not equal. For the formula for the variances, when they are not equal, it is tend to be used only when the sample size is larger than 30. For those equal variances, this is the formula. Okay. However, experience indicate that the difference is not that much. The difference is not that much in this formula and this formula. So I will not worry too much. So that's why you're going to see the formula inside SPSS. There are going to have 2 sets of results. One set of results for the equal variances, the other set of results for unequal variances. And we are going to cover that when we show you the SPSS. Okay. So usually, the implication is we expect better improvement among the treated group compared to the control group. Okay. If we give having one group, for example, being treated with bisoprolol, and the other group is being treated with IJMP, we expect the group treated with bisoprolol to have a much better heart rate and much better BP compared to those given IJMP. Okay. And the better the improvement, the larger is the mean difference between the 2 groups. And the larger the difference, the more significant is the p-value. What is the meaning of that? The p-value becomes smaller. Okay, the p-value becomes smaller. Okay. Okay, so the bigger the mean difference, here, the bigger is the t-value. Ini lagi besar, ini lagi besar. Okay. So the bigger the mean difference, the bigger is the p-value. Therefore, the p-value becomes smaller. Okay. And for the variances, the smaller is the variances. Okay. The smaller is the variances, the larger is the t-value. The larger is the t-value. Therefore, the p-value become smaller. Okay. So in this example, I'm showing you how it is calculated manually. But of course, I stated earlier, you all are expected to do it using computer software. Okay. So this one, they're just explaining that the level of the cholesterol is 214 versus 182. Okay. If you minus it inside mentally, okay, you're going to see the difference is about 30. Since the difference is about 30, chances are it will be significant. The p-value chances will be significant. Why? Because it is almost the same like the standard deviation. Okay, the difference is 32.73. Okay. So we have the null hypothesis, no difference of cholesterol level between the hypertensive and normal patients. And since the sample size is about 100, you can use the first formula. And this is how it is done. You calculated it manually. And yes, the result came back. The t-value is 4.137. 4.137 is larger than 1.96. So therefore, you know already that the p-value will be significant. And how significant? If you refer to the chart, you can see the chart. The p-value is smaller than 0.0006. Okay, you can see how many zeros you got. 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. So therefore, it is very, very significant. Okay. There's also another table, they call it table A3. It still shows that the p-value is very significant. So if you do a t-test, very simple. If you get a p-value smaller than 0.05, the null hypothesis is rejected. And there is significant difference of cholesterol level between hypertensive and normal patients. Okay. Hypertensive patients have a significantly higher cholesterol level compared to normotensive patients. Okay, compared to normal. So how high? 215 versus 182. Okay. So that's the example shown. I'm going to show the exercise soon. Okay. So here's this is what the exercise you tend to have in class, but I'm not going to do it here because this session is online. Okay. So basically it shows that the p-value is significant. Okay. I'm going to demonstrate this. Okay. In SPSS. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing now. I'm going to change screen. Okay, as you can see, although you are seeing my face now, okay, this has not, although there was a difference, but I'm going to change the screen to become for SPSS. Okay. And I'm going to share screen again. Share screen. I'm going to share the screen one. Okay. So you can see this is the big screen. Okay. Okay. I'm going to bring you to the cost that I mentioned yesterday. There are a lot of examples. There are a lot of examples material I already prepared for you on. So among the website I already shared with you is drtamil.me. So drtamil.me got everything about statistics that you want to know about. Just click on FK6163. All the notes are there. Or FK6193 for advanced analysis. So all the videos are there. All the notes are there. Feel free to make use of it. Sample size, again, all the sample size are there. All the notes are there. Okay. Just take note, I have to pay 200 ringgit a year for the website. The current one is still valid until July next year. I don't know, sorry, April next year. Okay, April next year. So after April next year, it may no longer be available. All right, so let's go through the data. So for the SPSS, you just go there, type the SPSS, search. You can see that there is the notes, SPSS how-to videos. Okay, these SPSS how-to videos are available for free for all of you. Okay, so please take note, everything is arranged like this. We have the topic, we have the notes. These are the notes, and these are the videos. So you can learn from data entry until data analysis, even for compute and recode. So you can see everything is given to you, and it is available to you for free until the domain name lapse. Okay, until the subscription to domain name lapse. drtamil.me, drtamil. Okay, so all the notes are here for all the basic statistical tests. For the advanced analysis, you have to click under the advanced topic, okay, under FK6193. So today we're going to cover for the basic one first. We're going to do for the t-test. So I'm going to download this data set. So just a word of, nowadays whenever you download anything, you have to save link as. Lepas tu they're going to ask you whether you want to keep or not. Okay, so I'm going to keep this data set on my desktop so that I will remember to delete once the class is done. Okay, so you can see there, you have to click on the button keep, then it will download. All right. Okay, so now we already have the data set. So let's open the data set. Okay. Just to make sure that everything goes well, I'm going to download it directly. Sorry, I'm going to open the file directly. How to open the data? Okay, You can see here this data set, drag and drop. Okay, you can see this is the data set for the exercise. Okay, so this one is for the t-test. This one is for the t-test. We have two groups here. We have two groups here. One group is SGA. SGA is small for gestational age. Then the other group is normal. This is the babies who were born with normal baby's weight. So you can see the cutoff point is 2.7 kilogram. So babies who had weight below than 2.7 kilogram are considered as SGA. And babies with weight above 2.7 kilogram as considered as normal. So right now what we are interested in is the t-test. So the t-test, to do the t-test, what are we comparing in this exercise? We are comparing the babies, whether the mother's BMI has an effect on the baby's birth weight. Okay, so we have the mother's BMI here. Okay, here's the BMI. Okay, kejap, eh. Okay, here's the mother's BMI. Okay, so we're interested in seeing whether the mother BMI has an effect on the baby's outcome, whether they get SGA or no SGA. So we click to run a t-test, you just click analyze, compare means, you can see, independent sample t-test. Why they don't use the word students t-test? Again, this is the patriotic bias, the Americans against the British. So they refuse to use any of the British names inside the software. Sorry. Okay. So that is the so we already what we're interested in is the BMI. Okay. What are we comparing against? Is the mother's grouping, whether they have SGA or no SGA. So we are going to define the group. The group is 1 and 0. 1 is for those with SGA, 0 is for those without. How do I know that? Because that is how I coded it. So for you all, you have to check what do you code the groups as. So when you click OK, the result came out. It looks like this. Okay. So you can see that very easy, very easy. You get all the results, and then you just have to put it inside your jadwal, inside your table. Okay. Doctor got 2 rows there. Which one to use? So you can see equal variances assumed, equal variances not assumed. I already shown you in the slides earlier. We got 2 formulas. One when the variances are equal, the other one is when the variances are not equal. How to decide whether the variances are equal or not? You look here at the Levens test. If the Levens test is not significant, then the variances are equal. So here it is not significant, therefore the variances are equal. So we use the top row. So how do I use this one? I will take only what I need. So I'm going to delete those that I don't need, leaving only what I need. Okay. So for me, whenever I present, I do not want these values. I just take these values. I have no need for the Levens test because I already got what I wanted. Okay, I'm going to delete that. Okay, so you got these beautiful tables. And these 2 tables has to be merged. So how do you merge it? You copy. Again, remember, I said earlier, you all are going to be the master of copy and paste. The software that you can use to merge this is Excel. Sorry. Okay. I'm just going to demonstrate this. To demonstrate, I'm going to use a larger view so that you all can see this. Okay. So these are the grouping. Okay, we have no need for this, delete. Okay, so now we are going to put in the value of the test. So you just go there to the test. This is the result of the test. Copy. Okay, you're going to have slight problem here because they are not going to match. So you're going to paste it elsewhere first. Okay, we're just going to take this one. Okay, so you can see there, we're just taking that one. So we click here, Control V. Okay, so now we have come up with all the results. Okay, so this one, we just merge the cells. Okay. Merge and center. Merge and center. Merge and center. This one not really necessary, but it does help to visualize mentally that the data are different by a value of 3. So how much is 3 is to make enough to make a difference? For me to lose BMI of 3, I go from obese to become overweight. Okay, so the value of 3 is quite big here because the implication is different. Okay, so you can see that all the results. Doktor tak cantik. Okay. Right click. Then you go to the alignment page on the page layout. So you can set the alignment. Okay. Oh, sorry. Something different. Usually I just click on right click. I click on the format cells, then I change it under there. Tak mau keluar. Right click. Format cells. Alignment. Center. Center. Okay. So do the same thing for the text. So you can make this thing beautiful. Then you can just highlight, copy and paste into your report. So it looks better already, like for your report. All right. So that one explains how to do the t-test inside SPSS and how to interpret the results and the significance. Okay, things that you have to change. Remove the negative. By right, the t should not have a negative value. If you have a value like this, where it is very, very significant, just rewrite it to become p less than 0.00, and you'll be okay. 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 All right. Okay. You keep asking me to save. Just save it lah. Okay. So that is about t-test. That is about t-test. So basically, why I'm doing this, I want to show that it is damn easy. It is very easy to do analysis using SPSS. I know they're going to put inside a comment, inside a feedback, kenapa tak buat bengkel SPSS? Last time for research week before COVID, we always have bengkel SPSS. We always have bengkel SPSS. It is done side by side. It is done side by side. But with COVID, we are doing this online. So for online, we cannot do the session because you all don't have SPSS. And when you all don't have SPSS, I cannot teach how to download illegal software inside these online courses. So we have to teach you all how to register with SPSS and do it using the evaluation version. For my classes, it is possible. Why? Because we do it over a period of time. But with you all, because this thing is done ad hoc basis, it is not possible. Okay, the question is given to me. If the data is non-parametric, will the SPSS be able to automatically use man-Whitney test? Okay, right now, they do not have the artificial intelligence to automatically detect the data do not have normal distribution. They still require you all to be able to detect whether data is normal or not normally distributed. So if it is data is not normally distributed and you wanted to do not man-Whitney test, you have to do it. You have to decide manually and do it by clicking on analyze. Okay, sorry, analyze. Okay, I think what happened is now there's a big blank there. I want to shift that big blank there. To analyze. Okay. Okay, you can see there's a problem here. Okay, non-parametric test. Okay, you all will not be able to see this. Only I can see this. Because you under the new SPSS version, it is different. It is under legacy command. So you have to click legacy command and then you select these two independent samples for the man-Whitney test. Okay, for the man-Whitney test. All right. Okay. I will proceed to the next one. Okay, I have to go a bit faster. I think we are okay because I already shown you my online notes, so you all can go and find my online notes. Okay, what's wrong? Okay. Okay, I see what's wrong. Okay, let's go next. I don't think I'm sharing my screen. So I should share my screen again. Share screen 3. Okay, much better. Next. Next. This one are all the explanation that we have done during the session just now. So it is inside the notes. So you don't have to worry. And this one is the demonstration on how to present the results. Okay. Next is the PET test. PET. What is PET test? When you have a repeated measurement on the same individual. For example, you have a study on weight loss. Okay. My student last time had they selected PPRT, Pusat Pembangunan Rakyat Termiskin, and because they are considered as under the B40 group, and they created an intervention program for this B40 group. So all these makcik-makcik come down every week for a Zumba class. Okay, and after 3 months, they measure the results of the 3 months of Zumba class. Sorry to say, they did not lose weight. They did not lose weight, but they are much more healthier cardiovascularly. Okay, and the BP is better, the heart rate is better, but the weight is still the same. Okay, losing weight is not easy. I know. I've been battling with it for life. All right, so let's look at the PET test. Again, I already mentioned to you just now, it is a repeated measurement of the same individual. Okay. Okay, the formula is weird because the formula is weird, right? Because the D stands for the difference minus 0. Why minus 0? What's the whole point of minus 0? The minus 0 is just to remind you that if there is no difference between before and after, then the value is close to 0. Okay? Then the value is close to 0. Kalau tak ada beza, then before and after, the difference is 0. That is the only point of having this 0 there. Okay, it does not make sense otherwise. So here's the formula. Okay, the mean of the difference divided by the standard error of mean of the difference. Okay, the standard error of the mean, as mentioned earlier, it is the standard deviation divided by the square root of n. Okay, so the standard deviation is done by using this formula. Okay, so and so forth. Again, you don't have to worry. You can get it done by using SPSS. You can get it done by using SPSS. Okay, so here's some examples. Hamdi score between week 6 and week 0 for the sertraline group. Okay, or comparing the hemoglobin level among the anemic pregnant woman after 6 months of treatment, 6 weeks of treatment with imatinib. And then, okay, here's some example of the test. So you can see patient improve drastically after treatment with the sertraline. The anxiety level drop like mad, and they are much better off. Okay, difference of between 10 and 3, the 14 and 4. So a drop of 10 marks in terms of anxiety. Okay. Doctor, do you have anxiety? Yes, I have anxiety. I don't like being in a group of people. I think maybe I have some level of autism. All right. Manual calculation. Okay. So this is an example of manual calculation. Again, I'm going to tell you, no need. Okay. So this one is a demonstration of manual calculation. So it is the systolic value after resting and systolic value before resting for 10 minutes. So you can see that the systolic value after resting is much lower compared to the systolic value before resting. Okay. Being a medical doctor, I know that resting is very important. So every time I go to cardio in your clinic, when they ask me to take my BP before I go see the doctor, I make sure I rest. But problem, cardio clinic, where got kursi? All full already, kena berdiri. So end up, by the time you measure your BP is high. Always have to repeat the BP after I have rested to get the normal BP. Being a cardiac patient, your normal BP cut-off point is much more stringent. You cannot exceed 120 for the systolic and cannot exceed 80 for the diastolic. Okay, here's an example of calculation manual. You can see it is a big mess. It is a big mess. Okay. Then you have to refer to the table to get the p-value. And based on the p-value, you can see here the t is 2.858, larger than 1.96. Therefore, the p-value is significant. Okay. P-value is smaller than 0.005. Okay. Sorry, p-value is smaller than 0.01. Sorry, tak nampak. P-value is smaller than 0.01. Okay. Therefore, the hypothesis is rejected. There is significant difference of the systolic blood pressure between the first and second measurement. Okay. So this is how it is done manually. Again, as I said before, no point doing manually. You can do everything very fast in SPSS. So I'm going to demonstrate. This is the same one. This is the same data set. This is the same data set. After that tab, I'm going to stop sharing now first. Stop sharing. So now I'm going to go back to SPSS. Doctor, why didn't you show SPSS last Friday? Last Friday, we got Friday prayers. So there was not enough time. So today, but don't worry, I already showed you the place. Very easy for you all to do it. Okay. So now we're going to select those with the HB level. Okay. So you can see here you've got HB level. HB2, short descending. So what is the normal level cut-off point for Malaysia? HB level below 10. Why Malaysia below 10? Because if below 11, you've got bigger problem. Okay, never mind. But for this purpose today, we're going to use below 11. So below 11, so we're going to set data, select cases. I'm going to select those with the HB level of below 11. So HB, okay, below 11. So for the purpose of this analysis, we're going to assume the people who had HB level of below 11 were treated with imatinib for 3 months, and after 3 months, their their HB level was measured again to see whether they have improved or not. Okay, so to do the PET test is very easy. Click Analyze, Compare Means. Okay, PET sample test. Okay, so we have to have a pair. So the pair is HB2 and HB3 transfer. So HB2 and HB3. Okay. Oh, sorry. Tak nampak Nasib baiklah. Sekejap kejap. Saya cancel sekejap. Saya tak keluar. Sekejap. Try balik. Share screen. Screen 1. Share. Okay. So I'm going to start again. Participants can now see you. Thank you. Baiklah kau cakap. Okay. That's the bad thing about online. There's no live feedback. So the only live feedback, I have to monitor the chat. Okay, I'm going to show you again. Okay, here we have the data set of patient with HB level of below 11. So this is the HB level below 11. How I selected this below 11, I click on data, select cases, I select HB2 less than 11. So this is how I did that. Continue. So when I click that button, all those HB level below 11 was selected. So now we're going to analyze, compare before and after. Click Analyze. Compare means. Okay. So we have, Analyze, compare means, PET sample test. Okay. So HB2, HB3, select, click OK, then the result come out. So when the result come out, you just say that this one is in a way it's not appropriate. Why? Because you're really not interested in the mean value of the group 1 and group 2. What you're interested in is in the mean difference. So you have to calculate the difference and put in the difference. But if you don't put like that, you look at like this, you can see that 10.245, 10.625, there's a difference of 0.4. Difference of 0.4. The difference is really 0.381, 3841. So although the difference is small, the p-value is still significant. Why it is still significant? Because generally everybody improved. Generally everybody improved. So how do we know that everybody improved? If you do a scatter diagram, simple scatter define. For the X, you put in HB2. For the Y, you put in the HB3. You can see that in general, everybody improved. Okay, when we upgraded to Windows 11, all the library files changed for Windows 11. So right now, my editing command for the SPSS no longer works. Okay, so my apologies, I cannot demonstrate that in general everybody improved. The reason that because the axis is different. This one is starting from 9, this one is starting from 7. So in general, everybody improved after treatment with the Martinez. Okay. So I hope that's clear. So this is the graph. So you're supposed to run the command, start from 0, then you come out, you align, coming across, there's a command to come out with a line. Okay. Why I cannot do that? Because when I double click, my editing window does not come out. Okay. I think I can get it done with the evaluation version, but with the evaluation version, I have to keep renewing it every month. Okay. Okay. How much does it cost to pay for a year of subscription of SPSS? 4,000 ringgit. gila, is it is 1,000 USD per year license. Per year. 100 USD per month. I'm not bluffing. You can go and check it. I'm retired. I can't afford to pay that kind of money. Duit yuran, duit apa minggu pendidikan bayar pun tak cukup nak cover tu. Alright, so that is how you analyze using that. Okay, I'm going to stop this thing. Data select cases. Okay, I'm going to select back all cases. Okay, now I'm going to stop sharing. Okay, you have done all this. Next. So you can see every single page of the notes, we have all this video, all these slides showing you how it is done. And what I did was just to add on the demonstration using SPSS Live. Why I can do that? Because we are on Zoom and we are quite a private group, so we are not really sharing with the whole world. Since we're not sharing with the whole world, we are okay. We're sharing the whole world, then we're in trouble. Okay. So we're still sharing screen. Oh, belum. Screen 3, share. Okay, so right now I'm sharing the screen. I'm sharing the screen for ANOVA. This will be a very short one. So this one I'm a very short one because why? I'm just going to say that ANOVA is to compare between more than 2 groups. T-test compare with 2 groups, ANOVA more than 2 groups. So for us, maybe you have 2 treatment control. Sorry, maybe you have three treatment group. Then you have to compare the 3 treatment groups. Or you have for race, Malay, Chinese, Indian, and others. Okay. Of course, nowadays the others have to divide into citizen and non-citizen because there are so many of them. Okay. So and the other is the interval or ratio scale dependent variable. Okay. So that is how you compare. So for example, try to compare the blood cholesterol level between the bus driver, bus conductor, taxi driver, or trying to compare the mean systolic blood pressure between Malay, Chinese, Indian, and others. Number 1 apparently is Indian, high BP. Number 2 is Malay. Then followed by the others. Okay, why? I don't know, but there's a study that we found out from our local data. Okay, got a question? Soalan, what is the minimum SPSS version that can be used? Whatever that works. Okay, for your information, when we started way back in the year 1996, 97, the version that we had was SPSS version 6. It was running on only 34 kilobyte of RAM. 30 kilobyte now. 16 kilobyte. 32 kilobyte. 32 kilobyte of RAM. Version 6. But for your information, once you go to Windows 11, the version that will only work for Windows 11 is version 20 and above. I managed to get version 17 to work, but that is by using a hacker's tool. And we use a hacker's tool to enable S17 can run on Windows. But as you see, not all the functions are available. You have to download the latest one, and the latest one you have to download the evaluation version for SPSS. Okay, so what is the latest one? 28. What is the latest one? Is 28. So how does it work? Every year there is one new version. Every year there's one new version. Is there a big difference? Yes. Between version 6 and version 11, there's a big jump in terms of data set. From 11 to 17, there's another big change. After version 19, everything's changed because version 19, SPSS has been bought by IBM. I need to go fast. So basically, same thing, normally distributed homogeneity variances. Subhanallah. Oi, mouse gerak le. Okay, so here's the example. The birth rate of babies. You can see if you are a housewife, the baby is bigger compared to you working in the office. But of course, the biggest baby is for those working in the as rubber tappers, as sawah padi. So you are your babies are better and healthier, bigger and healthier. Okay, manual calculation I'm going to skip altogether. Why? Because it is impossible to do manually. It is impossible to do manually, especially for clinical doctors. Okay, you have to calculate the SSB. Okay, then you have to get the grand mean. Then you have to get the MSE, the mean square error. So all these are ridiculous. Okay, they are ridiculous because you have to get the difference of everything, and you have to come up with Excel sheet and to calculate everything. So in the end of the day, just to get the values of the MSE, the mean square error. So the best thing to do is to use a software. Okay. So why do we teach the manual method? Because we just want to highlight the fact that when you use ANOVA, you generate the value F. You generate the value F. Okay, so this the value F is based on the SSB divided by the MSE. Okay, to get the value of F. Okay, and then from there you have to refer to the table and to get the p-value. And here the p-value is very, very small. Okay, so that is ANOVA. So I'm going to demonstrate ANOVA on the SPSS as the last one. After that, we have to shift to the next topic. This is what we presented on the SPSS. So just take note. This is the sum of squares, this is the mean square error, this is the F statistic, and this is the p-value. So this is the table that you get inside the SPSS. Okay, I'm going to run the analysis. So in this analysis, I'm going to show you the baby's birth weight. Baby's birth weight. Okay, I got soalan. See soalan. Kruskal-Wallis just click under non-parametric. Okay. Soalan dia how to use Kruskal-Wallis. Okay. That one we're going to cover in the afternoon. Kruskal-Wallis. Same like under my Whitney. So we're going to click on non-parametric. That's a question. So let's go to SPSS. Okay. After that we can stop. I know I exceeded time already. Thousand apologies. Okay, I'm going to share screen again. Takkan keluar soalan doktor tak share screen. Share screen. Zoom, share screen. ANOVA, yes, it is still for continuous data, but for 3 groups. Dia tanya ANOVA is for continuous data ke? Yes. ANOVA, the outcome is continuous. Like here is the baby's birth rate, continuous. But we are going to compare between 3 groups. We want the mean of the birth weight within 3 groups, or 3 groups, it is the underweight, normal weight, and overweight mothers. Share screen, screen number 1, click share. So here we have 3 groups of mothers. The 3 groups of mothers are normal weight, overweight, and obese. Okay, so you can see here the obese class. Okay, so we have group 1, which is underweight, UW, and then we have group 2, which is normal weight, and we have group 3, which is overweight. Okay. Ustaz Zaidul kata nak kahwin dengan isteri, cari isteri yang overweight. Jangan cari isteri yang underweight. Rugi dia kata. Flat. Kelak saya. Tak ada. Kalau saya cakap macam tu dalam ceramah mampu kena lempang orang ramai. Tapi Ustaz Azra tu boleh lah. Bini saya happy dengar tu. Untung beli kahwin dengan dia. Ada bonjol dia kata. Ustaz Azra has a term use. Ada bonjol tak flat. Jangan gedeng. Okay, jom kita run the analysis. You're seeing the slides right now. Okay, so I'm going to click on data view, click analyze. We're going to, remember, we are going to compare mean. It is one with ANOVA. Okay, so dependent list, what we're just saying is the baby's birth weight. Okay, what are the factors? We are looking at the mother's BMI, classification weight. Okay, this one. Okay, the classification weight. So kita ada 3 group. So we're going to click on Bonfroni. Then hand for this one, click OK, continue. Option, we want the descriptive, homogeneity variance test, means plot. Continue. Dah sudah, click OK. So then you get the results, and the result is as this. Okay, so what does it say? It says that mother who are overweight get bigger babies, 3.3 kilos. Mothers who are underweight get small babies, 2.3 kilo. Mother who have normal weight, 2.7 kilo. Is it significant? Yes. Problem now, it is not homogeneous. It's not homogeneous. So test homogeneity of variances is significant. So you tak boleh use this. You have to use Proskauer-Wallis, right? Yeah, because your data is not, the birth weight is not normally distributed. Okay, so if you still want to use, you have to use time hand, because time hand can be used for variables which do not have equal variances. So you can see, yes, it is significant for all. Underweight is different than normal weight. Underweight is different than overweight. Normal weight different than underweight. Normal weight different than overweight. Overweight different than underweight, so forth. So you have clearly shown that you want big babies, you have to marry big mothers. Okay, nak baby besar, kahwin dengan mak yang besar. Jangan kahwin mak yang kecil. Ali yang besar tu insyaAllah kita tahu dia betul perempuan, bukan kaum-kaum sajat. Just kidding. Alright. I got a question there. How do you know it is not homogeneous? Because just now I already shown you. Okay, I'm going to show back the slides. Okay, share. Oops. Share screen. Share alternate tab. Share screen. Okay, share screen. Screen 1. Share. Okay, the question is how to know that it is not homogeneous. I'm going to click answer live. Done. Okay, I know it is not homogeneous because I look at the Levens test. Okay. So Levens test indicate that p-value is 0.001. So indicate that the variances are not equal. Doctor, how to check? You get the variances. Okay. Inside my class, by the full-time class, we teach how to calculate the variances. So you just take this, the standard deviation, you square it. You square everything. Then you divide the variance of this with the other variances. If they are more than double, then the variances are not equal. Okay, that is how we do it manually. The Levens test will generate it for you automatically. If time hand is enough despite Proskauer-Wallis, we prefer to use Proskauer-Wallis, but sometimes you cannot use Proskauer-Wallis. For example, okay, because you want to, if you do Proskauer-Wallis, you just get, is there a difference or not? But if you want to get the difference between which one and which one, time hand is better. Okay, time hand is better. So if you want to know the difference is between which variables, which group of variables, then time hand is enough. But cross cover list allows you to get the difference overall. Okay. Which one is better? Depend lah, which answer you want. Okay. All right. And with that, I'm done. My apologies to the chairperson. Next. Macam mana nak keluar? Okay.